But
So,
it's true, though.
To
I mean,
continue the
put your
Furiosa,
phones down every once in a while.
to continue the Furiosa
Furiosa. Ooh.
problem at the box office, the floppiness of it.
That leads us to the
Chuds decide to talk about
The Chuds decide to talk.
who didn't really ever talk about Furiosa, and then I'm pretty sure they just talked about the trailer, and that was it.
Look,
But
I've said this before. You want to know why I know there's no cancel culture? Because these guys still have like really popular channels, and I mean guys like figuratively, like folks. Because I know there's ladies.
But anyway,
I want to be woke about my criticism.
So they decided to talk about Furiosa, and to be honest, all of them agreed with us that it was a good movie.
Oh, wow.
But still had to figure out a way to get rage clicks. And,
that's weird.
And spin a narrative, so they had to
why
be
do
like,
you want?
"Hey guys, this movie was good, but it failed because of women."
God.
And I'm not explicitly saying that, but I don't know. You be my
sure,
guest.
fair.
So
You know what?
Nerdrotic went even further
Okay.
to tweet
I'm surprised
that
by
Mad Max
that.
is Mel Gibson, not Tom Hardy. Mel Gibson, and I'm like,
I'm not that other guy.
You're gonna go for the guy. By the way, you're gonna stan the dude in his 70s at this point, who is the son of a Holocaust denier, who's repeatedly said some anti-Semitic, racist, misogynistic, horrible fucking shit, who only gets jobs as a director, if anything. I mean, yeah, he was in Daddy's Home too. He's maybe had a couple of roles, but not a lot of people are hiring Mel Gibson. Because I'm going to be honest with you, he doesn't have the star power you think he does.
Also, Will Ferrell, after working with Mark Wahlberg, he's like, I'll work with anybody.
Yeah. You could say
Mel Gibson, that's nothing. I worked with Mark Wahlberg, who used to, beat up Asian people just for fun.
And there's a lot to be said about redemption. I'm just saying that you clearly decided to go with the even further edgier rage choice of picking the problematic douchefuckle. I was going to say douche knuckle.
Douchefuckle.
But douchefuckle will work just fine.
I like it.
I'm just saying.
Are you just saying?
I would say there would be a thing to say.
There's room for Mark Wahlberg to redeem himself.
Is there room
stuff.
for Mel Gibson?
And hey,
is there? No, I don't think so.
Do we need him? Hey, but let's do Mark
Given his family's
Wahlberg's
history.
greatest contribution to
The
Western
best
society.
thing he's ever done.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe fuck yourself.
So anyway,
God, such a great scene.
Nerdrotic weighed in on this. I want to make this clear. Nerdrotic himself said the movie was good, but that didn't stop him to again blame wokeness in women. Oh, they like to say whammon. Whammon.
All them women are ruining everything.
Also, I can't wait to talk about the quartering because I fucking hate that guy. He's just such a fucking loaf of a human. Anyway.
Pimento loaf. I don't want that on my
a
sandwich.
Loaf you would never fucking order at Panera Bread, so help me
Get some
God.
head cheese. Okay.
Anyway, Furiosa time. So Nerdrotic has some interesting
Whammon.
takes.
I don't think I'm going out on a limb here by saying the character of Furiosa, be it played by Charlize Theron or Anya Taylor-Joy, is going to go down in the annals of iconic
Also, he has to say
pop
he says
culture
annals
character history.
instead of
I
annals
think she'll be a
'cause it's
decent
funny, I
footnote, and they might even mention
Not
something
really.
aside from taking screen time away from Mad Max and Fury Road. Elia Brown and Anya Taylor-Joy did a
It just really fucking chaps their tiny little.
Screen time away from Mad Max in Fury Road?
Dude, it fucking chaps their booty holes so much. Which, by the way, I don't think any of these channels existed when Fury Road came out because I guarantee you they liked it. But now that they're past that and they're doing their grift shit, they can't out loud say how good Fury Road is. But I guarantee it just eats at their booty holes.
Booty holes.
I'm sticking with that gross metaphor because I want to get drive back.
I like it.
It really bothers them that George Miller himself was someone that co-wrote that script and intentionally made Furiosa such a big part of the story. Mm-hmm. When they get so mad about, she overshadows Mad Max. Hey, newsflash, dumb shits. everybody outshadows Max because Max is a mythological figure that just shows up when there's problems and solves them. He reluctantly, because every time he tries to stop, he remembers when the time he didn't do the right thing and people died. So then he goes and helps them. Every fucking movie is the same. Did you complain? Did you complain that Tina Turner fucking stole the show in Thunderdome? No, because she's fucking awesome in that movie.
She is awesome. How do these guys reconcile Aliens by James Cameron? Like at all?
Exactly.
How the fuck do the guys like?
How could they like Ripley at all in any scenario? Right?
I'd love to hear them like.
Do they hate
explain-
Terminator because Sarah Connor?
Right?
They have to.
Terminator 2? I mean, come on, you fucksticks. What about A Quiet Place?
So yeah, Nerdrotic goes even further.
Actually, I don't care.
Oh,
about A Quiet
by the way, yeah, okay.
We'll talk
I'll
about
make
the
another
previews.
point here.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going out on a limb here by saying
Did I
the
restart
It's fine,
character
it's
of
okay.
Furiosa,
Leave it.
be it played by Charlize
wanna restart
Theron
it.
or Anya Taylor-Joy, is going to go down in the annals of iconic
man's in
pop
his
culture
50s, by the
character history. I think she'll be a decent footnote, and they might even mention something aside from taking screen time away from Mad Max and Fury Road. Elia Brown and Anya Taylor-Joy did a commendable job playing what is an average character. And this is where we get to why Furiosa flopped. In this case, the answer is simpler than Hollywood and those who analyze it think. I know you know the answer already, but they're having a hard time with it. Don't need Mad Max anymore.
I'm sorry, I
reason why
cut that weirdly. So how
The reason why I said let's listen to it because we talked over it the first time. I know you didn't mean to restart it, but that's okay.
Anyway, and yeah, that kind of I chopped up the wrong part there because he just says they're
Doesn't
figuring
matter.
out. But the next thought he has is he talks about IGN making an article saying that Mad Max doesn't need Max anymore. And he continues to point out that the problem once again is because Max isn't in this movie. And it's just
Actually, he is. Did you watch it?
very briefly. But
So
I
he's
thought it was such
he's
a
still fucking in it.
whatever moment.
I don't care. The point is that they're liars if they say he wasn't in it because he was in it.
Whatever. So he goes even further. He says that he said by the way, he said on Twitter that Mel Gibson is Mad Max,
Right.
which as we know now, which he has admitted on a live stream, like it's just like when he does the Miles Morales tweets, he's just rage baiting to get money.
Sure.
So I didn't respond to it. I really
Right.
wanted to, but I didn't.
So I do gotta say this. What is with the anal stuff? What is that?
It's funny, get it? Butt stuff.
That's not funny.
This man is in his 50s, by the way.
Wait, that's what he does that on purpose all the time?
I just noticed it in this video. I don't know if he does it all the time, but he does it in this video.
What
So-
a fucking. There's a reason why women choose the.
Deadpool and Wolverine isn't out for 2 months and it's already made $10 million. You mean to tell me if you put two iconic actors in their iconic roles in proper costumes and put them in a movie together, people want to see it? Someone should have thought of that sooner. Nah, it's a way better idea to recast a side character that no one cared about from a film and put her in her own movie with a bigger budget. What could go wrong? Turns out everything. As much as I liked Furiosa, the Mad Max saga, it would have been better if Mad Max was in the Mad Max saga, played by Mel Gibson. And in closing, I would like you all to internalize this absolute fact. There are only 3 Mad Max films.
Couple of things I want to point out about this video. One, go fuck yourself. There's more than 3 Mad Max movies. There's 5, and they're all fucking awesome. And you just need to stop being.
You
a
also just
bitch.
said how
You're
much you
also
liked it.
Also, you're a liar.
You also said how much you liked it.
And you said you liked this movie. So what the fuck? Secondly, I'd like to point out that while, like we said, it did lose some money. It lost 20 to 40 million. We're not quite sure how much it really lost for Warner Brothers. This Fury Road with Tom Hardy made $380.4 million, the highest grossing Mad Max movie.
Is that adjusted for inflation?
That's just that's the number I saw when you look up the box office. I don't know if the inflation, but point is, it made the most money of any of the fucking Mad Max movies without Mel Gibson being Max.
Sure.
So that negates it. And yes, this movie didn't make as much money as that movie, but you also have to understand the circumstances of when both movies came out. There's different factors. There's multiple factors that go into all of this.
Yes.
And Mel Gibson would not have done anything for this movie, and George Miller himself didn't want to deal with Mel Gibson because of time passing as well. It wasn't just his problematic shit. It was because he wanted Max to be young again, and you can't really do that with a 70-year-old. He didn't want to do old man Max. Old man Mad Max.
I see.
All right, so RK Outpost has some fun with this.
Does he?
Good old Ryan. Weren't enough good white people on the Batman canal. He talked about it, and he also, I guess they all got the same marching orders to say like Mel Gibson is Mad Max because he fucking shares that sentiment, which again I think is hilarious because they're like, we got to go with the edgiest choice, dude. We got to go with the fucking racist, misogynist, anti-Semite. That guy, he needs to be Max.
I'm not that other guy.
I'm Mel Gibson. I'm that guy.
Or not even going to give it a chance at this point. Especially not a character who's set in a world where you know who people want to fucking see? They want a Mad Max story. They want a Mad Max movie. Crazy that a Mad Max franchise, people want that fucking character to be present. What do you think?
Why do you hate
Memorial Day
women,
weekend,
Ryan?
that if
Why do
they
you hate
brought Mel
women?
Gibson back to do an old Mad
Go
Max movie,
fuck
what do you think
yourself.
Why do you
would've
want to
done?
fucking...
Probably a whole of a hell lot better than what Furiosa has just made. In worldwide, it's not any better. Furiosa opening action muted with $59 million global debut. Why didn't it strong-arm the marketplace? Oh, I don't know. Maybe because, as we've stated time and time again over the last 5 years, woke Hollywood is dying. People are no longer...
You've been saying it for 5 years, but it still exists. How long does this thing need to die? Because while it has had these setbacks, it's still... I cut it off early, but he even himself says in the same video that there are a couple of movies... You can't use all these excuses. You can't say it's COVID. You can't say this, that. You can't use all these excuses anymore. There are a couple of movies that went over $1 billion, and I was like, a couple? A couple?
Hello.
Hey, Ryan, it's the woke police. It was Barbie that made over $1 billion.
You fuckface.
That was led by a woman. So, because if you say
it was
'cause then
directed by a
because that's why he
woman.
doesn't fucking say it. Because if he says Barbie in the same video, he's exposed because it just ruins his argument.
Yep.
You can't keep comparing this shit on the same monolith that, like, you know what I mean? Barbie had an advantage because Barbie had the Barbenheimer. It was you almost have to be a cultural event to get people invested. That's why Dune made so much money, because it was a cultural movement. As much as I love Mad Max, I can't say that Mad Max is on that same level anymore. I mean, Fury Road made a bunch of money. A lot of people loved it. But this is showing maybe this franchise isn't as big as we had hoped.
Well, you know, Dial of Destiny failed because of the wokeness.
Yeah, the wokeness.
It had nothing, you know, but they had their original star, so what was the excuse then? Because it was woke? Which one?
People are not going to give Hollywood the same benefit of the doubt that they gave them for years and years and years.
That a woman
And they're
should
all
lead
out
a
of
movie?
excuses.
What are you
they
saying?
Can't say, oh, COVID is keeping people away. They tried to use that for 4 years. You can't say that anymore. If there is something that people get excited about, they're gonna be willing to go out and give it a chance.
There it
That
is.
is true. We've seen that. You can still have billion-dollar movies. We had a few last year. You can
Barbie.
still have massive successes. But when
Sorry.
people feel it's going to be a feminist agenda, it's going to be another girl boss movies that they roll their eyes at, they're not going.
Hey, fuckface, please tell me any girl boss fucking moment
it's also
in a movie set in the apocalypse.
Yeah, it's also you that I'm rolling my eyes at. Because you're a fucking moron.
Who the fuck said any of this was girl bossy shit? What the fuck?
Congratulations for, you know, making a really good living being a hateful piece of shit.
Dude, are you like this around women in private? Like, are you this fucking weird about women
I don't
in
know.
private?
I don't know, but
Like,
why would
God
you...
forbid there be a good female action star.
Right?
God.
What's your problem with strong,
Why do you hate
independent women?
Furiosa? They explicitly hate on Furiosa so much. And I'm like, why? She does everything that makes a male character badass.
Yes.
And you don't
Did you
like
watch
her.
the same movie when she like fucking reveals
Oh,
herself
she-
during that big long chase, and then just
When she just
basically
toys
helps
with Dementis
when
that
she,
whole time?
No, she helps Jack take down that entire army because everybody else is fucking dead.
Yeah.
Dude, how can you not like that? That's cool.
It's an amazing sequence. Like, it's...
Oh yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah. So go fuck yourself.
Fuck
Brad.
yourself.
So the quartering, we haven't talked about him in a long
Oh
time. 'Cause
man, I miss that guy.
Man, dude, he is a fucking.
How's he?
There's few
looking?
times that I wish we got paid for this, and it was this. Like, listen to this fucking dolt. So everything that we discussed,
yeah.
everything that we talked about,
Yeah.
he agreed with us when we talked about factors into this.
Hmm.
But yet he still thinks that the big reason that this didn't make money was whamming, as he likes to call it.
Whammon.
Also, he's such a fucking pussy. He won't say. He won't. Like, look. I should stop cussing,
Shit, yeah.
maybe a little bit.
Yeah. And we
But
should stop singing, but
He
whoop.
does. He does it for monetization, where like he will clearly show a tweet or something that says "fuck" or "shit," but he won't say it, so he can still get monetized. He'll say like "ish," or like when COVID was going around, he would say the jab or the pokey thing because he couldn't say vaccine or COVID shot. And like I just can't I can't stand it when those dudes are like free speech. You should say whatever you want. Oh well, YouTube says I shouldn't say this, so I won't. Like, be a fucking man. Say shit. Say dick. Say pussy. Say fuck. Anyway, I just don't like this dude. I just don't. And he's talking about Furiosa. So of course he blames women.
Of course, whammon.
Furiosa. Nobody wanted that movie. No Charlize Theron. Nobody wanted I know they called it Mad Max, but everyone knew that it wasn't Mad Max.
Everybody knew that
Marketing
Max wasn't
sucked
going to
for
be
that
in
movie.
it.
Also, let's give a shout out to that. Nobody was asking for a woman-led prequel to Mad Max. That's a product problem. So that movie, even though most people that seen it said it was decent, the general market doesn't want it. The general market is sick of it because they've been predisposed to garbage, right? Furiosa may be good, but the last 5 strong independent whammon movies were terrible. So eventually people stopped giving them the benefit of the doubt, which is what happened to Furiosa.
So
Wait, does he unironically say whammon?
yeah, as a joke. No, as a joke he says whammon.
I thought it was funny, and now it's not.
Oh, can I make a joke about the
Because it shows.
Then
me
everything he
that.
just described that he's blaming Hollywood for is what he and his fuckhead buddies. I was trying to get creative with it, and I was like, I don't want it to sound weird, so I was like, fuckhead buddies. How can I curse creatively on
How
the
can I
fly?
curse creatively without sounding stupid?
I gotta
'Cause
stop
this is
being so
live.
crass. They rile me up, man. I just want to knock them out with knowledge.
Look, if you want to take him down, without harsh language, what you say is you just say, "Well, I'm sorry that somebody hurt you, and I hope that someday you find the peace that you're looking for."
You see Furiosa, you're like, great, it's going to be some woke, strong, independent woman, girl boss movie, and it wasn't. It was a movie that was too
wasn't.
long, but it was a decent movie. Everyone that saw it liked it. Mad Max fans liked it. No one went to see it. Why? Because normies who aren't Mad Max super fans were like, it's going to be some woke trash. Even though it wasn't, this is what Hollywood did to us.
This is what you did to
the last
them.
10 years.
This is what you did to them, Jeremy. This is what the Critical Drinker did. This is what Gary and from Nerdrotic and the fucking all those guys. This is what you did. You did play a factor in this a little bit. I would argue that maybe there is a percentage, like I said earlier, that maybe didn't see it because Max wasn't in it. Maybe.
Can I also say,
but you cannot blame Hollywood for shit that you did.
yeah, and also
And stop giving yourself so much credit. Stop. Because that percentage I don't think is as big as you guys think it is. And I think every other factor that we described was what caused what happened. Not because of Furiosa at all.
Yeah, and I would argue that if you're not a Mad Max fan, you kind of you are or you aren't. You're the kind of guy who would go. You're the kind of person who would go see a Mad Max movie in the theater, or you're not. So I honestly like, to me, the fact that it did so poorly. There's a lot of factors at play. Obviously, we've been through a couple of those, but more than anything, it is still kind of a niche movie. I mean,
Mad Max isn't as big as a
though,
Marvel movie.
Even though Warner tried to hype it up and promote it and everything, it's still a niche movie. I mean, it's an action movie, but it's not your typical action
also
movie.
9
It's not
years.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith, okay? It's not.
We'll do like there's.
You
a
know what I
whole-
mean?
Yeah, there's a whole thing that we could talk about in a different,
So it really
different
is-
time, different show.
Whether it's led by a woman or a man, it's a niche movie. Fury Road, and so was Thunderdome, and so was Road Warrior, and so was fucking.
Fury Road made almost.
I'm saying
Fury Road made almost $400 million,
right.
And it was still lost money.
the style of
You
the
know,
movie
like,
is a little niche.
these
Okay,
movies have never been big money makers. Like they never have. And most of the time, the success they had was because those budgets were more modest. But then, as George
Yes.
Miller wanted to get more
Well,
epic with his
you
storytelling.
you guys are misinterpreting most profitable franchise with most money made. And the most profitable comes from those first two movies that were made for nothing and grossed like ridiculous amounts of
Yeah.
worldwide gross. Then Thunderdome, he got a bigger budget for one of the first, one of the bigger budgets that he'd had, and it didn't perform as well. Why? Because people kept expecting an extrapolation and that exponential growth. And you can't have that. It's just not sustainable. We've talked about this before with streaming services and being like, we need more subscribers and their stockholders and shit. There's only so many people who have TVs who are going to have TVs. It's just not sustainable.
And again, you're like we've talked about, especially right now, you are competing with so much entertainment at our fingertips in our home.
And didn't we also talk about
And-
we're the outliers? We still go to movies because we want to see certain movies on the screen. Like I don't think a lot of
I
people
wanted
just go to
see
the
it.
movies.
I saw Fury Road
When
in
I
the
was
theater.
a kid, I would go to the movies, but now not anymore.
Oh, we used to dress up to go to the movies. Like it was a big deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just for me it is something that, like I
It
said,
hasn't been for a long
I think
time.
it's silly to just blame it on a woman and blame it on a female-led movie because, like we said, on average, there's more male failures than female failures because there are a lot more movies.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying. You can make these
Oh,
arguments.
what do you guys
and-
want? Another Gerard Butler led action flick?
Also, what are you saying? You saying you like this movie, but you're applauding its box office failure.
Yeah.
So you don't want more of this movie? These kind of movies? So did you really like the movie?
And why? What part of your
'Cause I don't-
algorithm wants you to say that you liked it?
Again.
What?
When have you ever seen a movie that you liked and were like, yeah, fuck them though. They fucked that box office up. They're fucking losers. I really liked it though. Like the characters, like the character moments are so great, but like fucking woke shit cost a man. Eat a fucking hot dog.
Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.